Welcome to Trinath Chemistry classes. In this video, I am going to discuss about intermediate second year chemistry topic, electrochemistry. In this electrochemistry topic, this is my fifth video, and in my previous videos, I have discussed about what is electrochemistry and Faraday's laws of electrolysis and Faraday's laws of electrolysis and the basic terms in electrochemistry such as resistance, specific conductance, specific resistance, effect of dilution, molar conductance, all those things were discussed in my previous videos, 4 videos. In this video, I am going to discuss about batteries, which is one of the important topic in IPE, Indian Intermediate Public Examination point of view. We know that galvanic cell is a galvanic cell is a galvanic cell is a electrochemical cell which converts chemical energy to electrical energy. Chemical energy to electrical energy. Chemical energy to electrical energy. Galvanic cell is a cell which converts chemical energy to electrical energy. And we have seen also electrolytic cell. What is electrolytic cell? Electrolytic cell is a device which converts electrical energy into chemical energy. Electrical energy into chemical energy. Galvanic cell is a device which converts chemical energy into electrical energy. Now, what is a battery? First, we need to know what is a battery. Battery is also a galvanic cell. Is a galvanic cell or more than one galvanic cell. More than one galvanic cell. One galvanic cell. More than one galvanic cell which are connected in series. Which are connected in series. Connected in series. And it converts chemical energy into electric energy. Chemical energy into electric energy. What is a battery? Battery is a galvanic cell. Battery is a galvanic cell or more than one galvanic cell which are connected in series. More than one galvanic cell which are connected in series. More than one galvanic cell which are connected in series and which converts chemical energy of a redox reaction into electric energy. Chemical energy of a redox reaction into electric energy. That one we are calling it as a battery. We are calling it as a battery. What is a battery? Battery is a galvanic cell or more than one galvanic cell which are connected in series and which converts chemical energy into electrical energy. Chemical energy into electric energy. Chemical energy of a redox reaction is converted into electric energy. We are calling it as a battery. We are calling it as a battery. For any practical use, for usage, what are the main requirements of the battery? We know that battery is a galvanic cell. Battery is a galvanic cell or more than one galvanic cell which are connected in series and which converts chemical energy into electric energy. The basic requirement of any battery is it should be compact. It should be compact. It should be not very big in size. It should be compact and light. It should have lightweight. And it should have lightweight and its voltage should not vary. Its voltage should not vary during the usage. The main requirement of any battery is it should be compact, because it should not be heavy, big items. It should be very compact, and it should be lightweight, and its voltage should not vary during its use. Its usage should not vary. Its voltage should not vary appreciably during its usage. The batteries are, there are mainly two types of batteries. There are mainly two types of batteries. One is primary battery and another one is secondary battery. Another one is secondary battery. What is a primary battery? Primary battery. What is a primary battery? The battery which cannot be reused, which cannot be reused, which cannot be reused is called primary battery. What is a primary battery? The battery which cannot be reused, we are calling it as the primary battery. That is, in the primary batteries, what happens is, after their use over a period of time, it becomes dead and the cell reaction is completed and cannot be reused. Cannot be reused. What happens in the primary batteries? After their use over a period of time, it becomes dead and the cell reaction will be completed. The cell reaction will be completed and it cannot be reused. What is a primary battery? Primary battery is a device. Primary battery is a battery which cannot be reused. It cannot be reused. We are calling it as the primary battery. Examples are whatever in our watches and in our remote batteries. All these are primary batteries, because once they used their over, the usage is over. After certain completion of cell reaction will be completed after a particular time, after a certain period of time, and they will become dead and they cannot be reused. The battery which cannot be reused is called primary battery. Is called primary battery. The most familiar example of this type of cell is dry cell. Dry cell or Leclanche cell. Dry cell or Leclanche cell. Dry cell or Leclanche cell. This is the dry cell or Leclanche cell. In this dry cell or Leclanche cell, this dry cell or Leclanche cell used in transistors and clocks. In clocks, whatever batteries we are using, those are dry cells or Leclanche cell. You see, this primary dry cell consists of a dry cells consists of a zinc container, and this acts as a dry cell consists of a zinc container which acts as a anode. Dry cell consists of a zinc container which acts as a anode, and the cathode is a carbon rod. Here in this dry cell, cathode is a carbon rod and is surrounded by a manganese oxide, and carbon. Manganese oxide and carbon. See, in this dry cell, zinc, there is a zinc container which acts as an anode, and here cathode is a carbon rod. And is surrounded by a manganese dioxide and carbon. Cathode is a carbon rod and is surrounded by a manganese dioxide and carbon. And here the space between the cathode and anode. Here anode is a zinc container and cathode is a carbon rod. The space between the electrodes, the space between the cathode and anode, and anode is filled by moist space of ammonium chloride and zinc chloride. The space between the cathode and anode is filled with moist zinc chloride and ammonium chloride. Zinc chloride and ammonium chloride. Zinc chloride and ammonium chloride. The reactions which are occurring at cathode and anode in this dry cell are the reactions which are occurring at cathode and anode are the reactions occurring at anode is Zn is oxidized as Zn2 plus and 2 electrons, and at cathode MnO2 plus NH4 plus 2 electrons gives rise to this complex plus NH3. And the cell exhibits a potential of nearly 1.5 volts. The dry cell generally the exhibits a potential of nearly 1.5 volts. You can see on your cell phone, whatever remote battery, we can see 1.5 volts. This is a dry cell. So the primary battery is which can be reused, we are calling it as the primary battery, which can be reused, we are calling it as the primary battery. The main familiar example of this primary battery is dry cell or Leclanche cell. In this dry cell, zinc container acts as the anode and carbon rod acts as the cathode. Carbon rod acts as the cathode, and this carbon rod anode is surrounded by a manganese dioxide and carbon powder. Manganese dioxide and carbon powder. The space between the anode and cathode are filled with moist ammonium chloride and zinc chloride, and the reactions occurring at anode and cathode are here. Maybe in any kind of, for example, in IPE point of view, if they asked you to write about dry cell, what is a primary battery? Explain with an example. Then what you have to write is primary cell is a device which primary battery is a battery which cannot be reused. We are calling it as the primary battery. Primary battery is a battery which cannot be reused, is called primary battery. The battery which cannot be reused is called primary battery. The familiar example of this primary battery are dry cell or Leclanche cell. The what is anode, what is cathode, and what we are using as electrolyte, and the reactions occurring at anode and cathode. What are the reactions occurring at anode and cathode? Another example for primary battery is mercury cell. Another important example of the primary battery is mercury cell, which is mainly used in watches and hearing aids. In this mercury cell, zinc mercury amalgam is used as the anode. Zinc mercury amalgam is used as the anode, and the mixture of mercuric oxide and carbon is used as the cathode. And here electrolyte is the paste of zinc oxide and potassium hydroxide. Paste of zinc oxide and potassium hydroxide, and the reactions occurring at anode and cathode are like this. The reactions occurring at anode and cathode are like this. Maybe in any kind of objective exam, they may be asked as what is cathode, what is anode in dry cell or mercury cell. Now let me discuss about secondary battery. What is a primary battery? Primary battery is a battery which cannot be reused. The one which can be reused, the battery which can be reused is called secondary battery. A secondary battery or a secondary cell, its use can be recharged and can be used again. We are calling it as the which can be reused again. We are calling it as the secondary battery. Which can be reused is called as the secondary battery. This secondary battery undergoes a large number of discharging and charging. Large number of discharging and charging cycles. Discharging and charging cycles. This secondary battery undergoes large number of discharging and charging. For example, our cell phone battery is a secondary battery. You see, we are using, is it discharging? Then again we are putting charging, and again it is getting charged. So it is a secondary battery is which can be reused. Means it undergoes large number of charging and discharging cycles. Charging and discharging cycles. The important, the most important secondary battery is lead storage battery. Lead storage battery. What is the most important secondary battery is lead storage battery. What is which one? Lead storage battery. The most important secondary battery is lead storage battery, which is commonly used in automobiles and inverters. Automobiles and inverters. Lead storage battery. Lead storage battery is a secondary battery which is commonly used in automobiles and inverters. Automobiles and inverters. In this lead storage battery, lead rods, lead acts as the anode. Lead acts as the anode. Lead acts as the anode. And a grid of lead lead packed with lead packed with lead dioxide. Lead dioxide acts as the cathode. Acts as the cathode. What is the anode? What is the anode? Lead is the anode. And what is the cathode? A grid of lead packed with lead dioxide. Packed with lead dioxide is acts as a cathode. Is acts as a cathode. And 36% sulfuric acid. 36% sulfuric acid is used as electrolyte. Used as electrolyte. Is used as electrolyte. So in lead storage battery, what is the anode? Lead is the anode. Lead is the anode. And a grid of lead packed with lead dioxide acts as the cathode. And 36% sulfuric acid is used as the electrolyte. Is used as the electrolyte. The main reactions occurring at anode and cathode during discharging or at anode, lead solid treated with reacts with sulfate and precipitate as lead sulfate and plus 2 electrons, and cathode PbO2 plus SO4 2 minus plus 4H plus 2 electrons PbSO4 plus 2H2O. And the overall reaction is like this. And these are the reactions occurring during the discharging time, that is during the usage of the battery. During the usage of the battery. On charging the discharged battery, the above reactions are reversed. Whatever reactions we have discussed, those will be reversed at anode and cathode. So this is regarding secondary battery. So in secondary battery, lead is used as the anode. A grid of lead packed with lead dioxide acts as the cathode, and 36% H2SO4 is used as the electrolyte. And the reactions occurring at anode and cathode during the discharging are given, and overall reaction also have been discussed. And during the charging, that is during the charging of discharged battery, the reactions occurring at anode and cathode and overall reaction will be reversed. So this is regarding secondary battery. So another example for secondary battery is nickel cadmium cell. Another example for secondary battery is nickel cadmium cell. This is another example. Maybe in 4 marks in IPA point of view, either 4 marks or SI. What is a battery? Write about different types of batteries. If they asked for SI, we need to write what is a primary battery. We have to explain with an example, and secondary battery we have to explain with an example. So we need to write mainly what is anode, what is a cathode, and what is the overall reaction, and what are the reactions occurring at anode and cathode. Thank you for watching. Please like the video